Hi all. I just did a little clip about if I was to make a self-care basket, like some prompts for a gift, or what would you include for things that are part of my self-care practices. Self-care is a funny thing. It's often thought about bubble baths or alone time, or it comes across kind of indulgent. And also it can come across as being quite privileged. So it really is about what works for you, however little, to keep you grounded and strong and well taken care of as a bridge to community and care of those around you. So I added beautiful fresh produce. I often buy produce from local farms because I love to buy local. But you don't need to worry about if it's organic or regular if you're on a tight budget. There's no guilt. Food is food. And if you're having more fruits and vegetables, however you can get them, even if that's using canned or frozen, that still counts. I also added tea, and this can be any warm beverage, coffee, hot chocolate. There's something quite comforting about sitting quietly with a warm drink between your hands, maybe for a few moments with a warm coffee in the morning. If you can carve out a short period of solitude with a good book, it just kind of gives you some peace. I also put in a nice soap. I've also recently found a great local soap maker. But again, it can be any small thing. I think there's a power in fragrance and smells. So having lavender around or fresh herbs in the summertime, or some nice soaps or a nice shampoo, maybe one with a coconut smell, just so that I think the sense of smell can be really calming too. I would also add, I don't have these books at home, they're in my office, but the Intuitive Eating book and the Mindful Eating workbook. I'm also going to be buying some more books in this area, so I'll give you some more recommendations. I also added this book about forest bathing, and the reason I added that is nature is there all around us. Even if you live in a city, you could have a small plant or some house plants. I just got these beautiful roses in these miniature roses, and the cool thing about these, you could plant them in the garden when the weather gets warmed up. I did that a few times and they thrive. So even if you could go to a city park, your backyard, a state park, and just breathe and be among the trees. And there's some wonderful tips about how to connect with nature and the forest in here. Just turning off your device, taking your time, noticing the birds. Today I was in a forest and I heard the sound of the wind and the trees creaking together, almost like they were talking. And some fun educational as well as just good old novels. Really enjoyed this book recently, Immunity the Science of Staying Well. Fantastic book. Learn about this amazing body that we call home, how our immune system, our gut works, helps you to marvel at it and take care of it more. This is a really good book. Gut, the inside story of our body's most underrated organ. And this is a really good book, Mindfulness for Beginners. The act of being more present, pausing in the moment, not being caught up in the hustle and bustle. This is an amazing self-care practice. What would you add if you were to make a basket for someone? And as I said, it's going to look for everyone differently, depending on your life circumstances, where you live in the world, your upbringing. But here are some things that I personally recommend.